Angela and Ghost are finally back on screen together, and yes, some of you may get that joke, some of you may not, but it's okay because I am truly here to talk about J-Lo's new film, and that film is The Mother. We're going to jump into that review right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, The Mother, which is coming to Netflix May 12th. Yes, this film stars Jennifer Lopez as the mother, Omari Hardwick as Agent Cruz, Lucy Paez as the character Zoe, who is the mother's daughter. And, you know, honestly, this film was, I guess I was expecting something more than what it was, but overall it was entertaining. I think the very safe reaction to all of J-Lo's films are they're entertaining. Sometimes she throws in some really good films, but this is one that was just entertaining. You know, I wasn't overly thrilled with the plot. The ending was kind of meh. There was definitely a lot of things I thought was kind of left on the table. There was definitely some elements of the plot that was kind of a little bit of a head scratcher here, but overall it was entertaining. I thought the cinematography was enjoyable. I love the set locations, especially since a lot of it was within the snow. I think that white backdrop always really makes things interesting. But overall, you know, with the acting, you know, you got exactly what you thought you was going to get. You know, Omari Hardwick is always going to give you sexy. J-Lo is always going to give you sexy. The two of them together, you know, you're going to get sexy. So you got that little bit of chemistry maybe in here, because like they were once like foes, but then they kind of become friends, and then it kind of becomes like a And honestly, I think if you really assess like the mother's like traits, it's kind of like she's like a hopeless romantic in sorts. I don't know. So it like kind of makes sense that her and Cruz would kind of be a thing, maybe. I don't know. But yes, you do get those moments. Well, ultimately, this is a story about the mother who almost very tragically lost her daughter while pregnant, her unborn daughter, but then was able to have a miracle delivery. But ultimately, because of her duties, her job, her time in the service here, you know, her talents, you know, they thought it was a better decision to have her part with her daughter, which is a very hard decision for any mother, you know. But, you know, this is for the safety of Zoe. And so they put Zoe in a child protection system. And so, yeah, you know, separation for a couple of years, like 12 years or so. But the mother, obviously, because of her skills, because of her resources, because of Cruz, she's able to locate where Zoe is. But ultimately, the dangers that tried to kill the mother and the unborn Zoe at the time are now back knocking on her door, which means that the mother now has to step up in a way of not just protecting herself, but her daughter, but also building that relationship with her daughter, which is part of the adventure here. So, you know, what's interesting is that this release obviously comes in on Mother's Day weekend. So like very timely release date here. But I think the title is absolutely going to draw people in. And I think there's definitely very strong elements in terms of like motherhood or parenthood. But this is an action film that is just, you know, entertaining with a plot that's kind of meh. The acting's kind of whatever. And I think you're just here for just the time. It's totally a popcorn flick. It's totally a good film to watch over the weekend, regardless of what weekend it is, even though this is Mother's Day weekend. And then I think, like, you know, just elements of the production that was interesting. Like, I thought the cinematography was done well. There was definitely some cinematic shots I was really digging. Like, you know, ones where like the bullet castings are flying out of the chamber. I thought those were really cool, and so on. And then, like, again, because most of this was done was shot in a snowy setting, I think that white backdrop really made a lot of the action really cool. And I think also like action in the snow is always cool. I don't know, maybe I'm biased about that, I don't know. But other than that, like, listen, there's tons of coincidental moments in this film, and just flat out unbelievable, impossible ones that are kind of just throws you out of it a little bit. But again, you just kind of reel yourself back in saying like, hey, it's just entertaining, I won't take this serious, you know. And honestly, it kind of was giving me kind of Michael Bay-ish vibes, just minus the explosions. You know, some of the things they were kind of doing with the cinematography was kind of giving me Michael Bay vibes, you know. But then, to my surprise, there was moments of this film that was completely brutal, without warning. And I was kind of like, oh, didn't see that coming. and I didn't think that the tone of the film was kind of warranting it. So I was kind of like, what? But anywho, again, it is truly about the mother and protecting baby Zoe, and also the case of who the father is and if that matters, because maybe that does explain some of the motives of some of the other characters. Because like, yeah, there's a villain in this, or villains, and or maybe it's a villain, I don't know. But I think that like that's also another element into the film. So like, understanding that the mother sort of gives me hopeless romantic vibes, you know, doesn't quite know who the father of baby Zoe is, and then this sort of mini relationship with Cruz is kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, but then ultimately, like the storytelling in terms of motherhood is again a part that people should keep an eye out on. And again, it is like the aspect of the mother-daughter relationship and discovery and bond over all the missed time that they had. But yeah, other than that, stunts were cool. The movie was overall enjoyable, as I said. I can never go wrong with a J-Lo film. I think at any given point, you know, at bare minimum, it's just entertaining. This one was that. I did enjoy Jennifer Lopez and Lucy Paez, who plays Zoe. I did like their banter at times. I thought Lucy really shined towards the later parts of this film. And also seeing Zoe sort of become like the mother here was interesting, because seeing her really, even with them not knowing each other, but then starting to grow that bond, but instinctively starting to see traits and signs of the mother. I thought that was like a really cool aspect of the film I enjoyed, you know. But I will say this, I did not overly love the ending at all. I think it just lacked a lot of full circle moments and storytelling that they literally were handed and they just went the other way. But then again, maybe the film is all about promises, and if you sort of land on that, well, then you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But there was definitely like a lot of just misdirections in terms of like what was the overall theme of this film. So, but yeah, again, I think when it comes to J-Lo, they're always entertaining. I think you totally should check it out. It was cool to see Omari Hardwick on the big screen. I thought him alongside of J-Lo again brought sexy. The villains, which I'm not going to give you too much about, I thought were menacing-ish at times, but truly just J-Lo as an action star. There's going to be some moments that are going to be dropping. You're going to be like, what in the world? Did not see that coming. And that definitely did make for an entertaining movie. But yeah, check it out, folks. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it when you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.